Hello, welcomes back everyone. Wolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, playing as Aeva Var here, my Jedi Knight. And where we last left off, we were doing some space missions. We were doing an interlude part of the series, just to get ourselves just over that threshold to reach level 80, which we managed to do. We are going to go do something a bit different now. So, we actually do have a bonus quest series before we go into the expansions, but I figured I'd do another small interlude part, because I want to talk about Aeva and her character, her thoughts and feelings about the situation so far, now that the Treaty of Coruscant has been torn up, and war has once again come between the Galactic Republic and the Empire. Aeva, she's never been the typical Jedi. Her actions have proven such. She's obviously saved people she probably shouldn't have saved, and she's killed people who might have been able to be redeemed if she had have actually believed in their possible redemption. And of course, her encounter with the Sith Emperor, her numerous encounters with the Sith Emperor, have certainly affected her psyche, her judgment. And now that she's been looked over for the position as a Jedi Master, well, she's feeling like the Republic and the Order are treating her with a lot of ingratitude for all of the good that she's done. She killed the Sith Emperor. The Sith Empire is heavily weakened, and they're going to be trying to recover from the loss of their Emperor, who they believe to be all-powerful, immortal. Like, how do you recover from that? And yet, she's still simply a Jedi Knight. I mean, yes, she was given the honorary rank of General, but, you know, something, anything, a pat on the back, a small smile by the Grand Master of the Order, you know, something. Instead, she got condemnation in public, in front of all those officials and her companions, that she was dark, that her ambition was growing. You know, she could have just been drawn to one side, and Satele could have said, by the way, we suggest you come back to Tython and maybe have a chat with a psychologist, have a word with some Jedi healers, and try to put the events that have transpired behind you. But instead, more people are asking more of her. In fact, she's been expected, once she's had a little bit of R&R, to go back to Carrick Station, the Republic fleet, and throw herself into the front line once again. So during this small period of R&R, she has actually gone back to Tython, but thanks to the ingratitude of the Order, she's decided to look into various datacrons, various histories, and other studies in the Force. And they're not Jedi studies, let's put it that way. These individuals may have been Jedi once, but they decided to pursue and look into other aspects. And so with that in mind, and with that long, somewhat speech out the way, what I'm trying to say is we're actually going to finally choose our second combat style. It's not to say that we are indeed going to the dark side, but Aeva probably certainly feels that a more well-rounded perspective, maybe she should consider other ways of doing things. And it is true that you should study your enemy in order to defeat him. And so learning about how the Sith train their acolytes, their apprentices, learning the way they fight, would probably be a benefit to a Jedi, would it not? She tries to convince herself. So, indeed, we've had this skill this quest, this quest since level 1 as a subscriber. Training in the Force. Oop. Through your experience and decisions, you have the ability to learn another style of combat, meditate on the Force, and receive the wisdom required to understand new techniques. So, we'll be transported to where the mission's location happens to be. Let us see what our experience or studies reveal. The path you walk has led you here to a moment that could change the course of your destiny. This echo, this reflection of how you have grown, will guide you through this vision. Throughout your journey, you have cultivated a deeper understanding of the secrets of the Force. What additional set of skills do you wish to learn? Now, I will be open and I will be honest. Through a commenter's mention on my YouTube channel, I was considering switching to the Sith Marauder, the Sith variant of the Jedi Sentinel. The combat class, the abilities are nigh on the same, depending on which discipline tree you select. They have different names. Some of the animations are slightly different. But in essence, it is the same class, the same play style. And I have enjoyed playing as the Jedi Sentinel, and I would likely enjoy playing as the Marauder with their dual lightsabers. But over time and during my recording and of late, I've been considering other options. And so I've decided that we'll actually probably go with the Sith Assassin. Sith Assassins command a power of subterfuge, cloaking themselves in shadow. They strike when it's least expected, tearing enemies asunder with a double-bladed lightsaber. Lethal executioners with unnatural fortitude, they draw upon the dark force energy of defensive wards, searing lightning, and essence-draining techniques. Would you like to add knowledge of the Sith Assassin combat style to your skills? Indeed I am. The consequences of this decision are permanent. Embracing the Sith Assassin skills as your second combat style cannot be undone. Are you sure you wish to proceed? The die has been cast. Your time at this crossroad comes to an end, now that you have chosen the way forward. Like so many decisions before, your choices here are markers along your path, but your journey is far from over. It's parking us back at Carrick Station. Indeed it is. Let's get ourselves back on board our Defender. Because now we have some issue. I have no idea how to play an assassin. It's been too long. In fact, when have I last played an assassin? Holy crap, it's been so long. I think both of my Inquisitors were sorcerers. I did pick up an assassin recently to do some PvP, but now everything's changed with Legacy of the Sith. So, okay, we have this Watchman loadout, that's fine. Good. But now we have the Assassin combat style. So, let's switch over, shall we? And quickly, before we do anything else, I am going to grab a color crystal. What do we fancy? Gives us extra mastery. We'll take it for now. What would that look like? Yeah, it could be appropriate. I may change the color crystal slightly, but for the moment, that's what I want. Perfect. Kira's going, what the hell are you doing? Ah, on the positive side, Kira could give us some tips. But do you see this quick bar? What the hell am I meant to do with this? So, we also have, obviously, the 3 disciplines. We have a tanking discipline, darkness of course. We have deception, where we can deal direct damage. And then we have hatred, which gives us damage over time abilities. I always like deception. With high criticals, you can deal a shit ton of damage. You normally need to do some backstabbing and basically just pour on the damage with your burst attacks. I think I might go down the hatred tree because I'm starting to enjoy dealing damage over time, and so I want to explore that a bit more. But I need to explore. I'm pointing at the discipline tree in front of me right now, going, what the hell am I meant to do with that? So, give me a moment. I will be right back. I'm going to actually spend 5-10 minutes trying to learn how to use these abilities, put them in some semblance of order, and then we'll talk about what I think will work, and then we'll practice it. So give me just a moment. And welcomes back, everyone. So, I spent a little bit of time trying to understand the discipline tree. In fact, I tried to understand it twice, and I may still make some minor adjustments. I did go back to Carrick Station and grabbed some level... find my words. Some level 80 gear, which it isn't showing. I suppose that's fine. Actually, 2 seconds. Huh. There you go. There you go, finally. We got there in the end. So we are item level 320 right now. And if we get some of those aquatic matrices, we could obviously look to improving this. I will have to store away the armor I was wearing. And indeed, we've actually grabbed a tactical. It tells us the wrong ability, because we are a player of the Republic, technically. But we'll talk about that. So, let's look at the discipline tree here. I'll go over this very briefly. This is actually the second time I've done this, because the first time I chose some abilities which were terrible. So as you can see, I've moved my quick bar around a bit. I've moved up various skills. So there are some basic skills we kind of started with. Our basic Saber Strike, which doesn't cost any of our Force ability here, which is our unique resource. And then we have our basic Slicing Attack, the Thrashing ability. In fact, let's go to our training dummy. We have a Force Speed ability. Training dummy, there you are. Which is very useful. We also have an AoE ability, which slashes up to 8 targets. Which is quite useful. We have our Stealth and Force Cloak. So while out of combat, we can activate Stealth, and in combat, if we want to escape from a sticky situation and break combat, we can forcefully enter Stealth. We have an Interrupt ability in the form of Jolt. We have a Stunning ability in the form of Electrocute. We also have a out of combat crowd control ability called CC called Mind Trap. For 60 seconds, it leaves a target bewildered and unable to act. As long as we don't attack them, we don't enter the combat state. We also have a defensive ability called Deflection. Increases our ranged and melee defenses by 50%. And we also have Recklessness. We get 2 charges of this and increases our force critical chance of our direct attacks by 60%. For each ability we use that is a direct attack, such as, I'm guessing, Eradicate here, it will use one of those stacks. Obviously, we get 2 stacks of it. And, right. So, in addition, all the other abilities we kind of unlock during our discipline tree. So, we start off with a damage reduction ability, and we can increase this further by using an aggro ability called Mass Mind Control. It also increases the chances of our the critical hit chance of our Lightning Charge. Lightning Charge is different from Discharge here. And we find it. There you go. So every time we deal damage with a melee attack, there's a 50% chance we'll deal extra energy damage, which is quite useful. So yes, our critical damage on that energy additional damage is increased. We also have a unique AoE ability called Death Field, which deals a field of death in a target location, dealing a moderate amount of internal damage. It also steals life, depending on how much damage is dealt. Only 10%, but it hits 5 targets. Oh, that's the wrong skill. There you go. And we can use it twice. The reason we can use it twice is I've chosen Deadly Field as a passive upgrade. Killing an enemy or activating Recklessness actually generates an additional charge as well. Otherwise, it recharges every 15 seconds. We have another passive, our Lacerate ability, or Spinny Attack. Spreads our Discharge and Creeping Terror effects to targets that they damage, as long as they have those damage over time abilities already on them. Discharge deals quite a bit of energy damage over 18 seconds. Our Creeping Terror is ability we learned at level 47, which also deals damage over time. So if we hit them with both of those skills, we can then spread it to any enemies around the training dummy. In addition, our Death Field overwhelms a target, making them take more damage from area effects. Quite handy. We then got to choose one of 3 abilities. I might not go with Maul Spike. I might augment my Force Cloak ability a bit more. We then got Death Mark. When using the Death Field, it places a mark upon the affected targets, increasing the amount of damage they suffer from the next 15 periodic damaging abilities. So, hit them with Death Field, and then use our Discharge Creeping Terror combo, and they'll be taking, if they aren't dead, they'll be taking even more damage, which is always fun. We also pick up Eradicate. Crushes a target with devastating force, dealing a fair amount of kinetic damage initially, and then even more damage over time. Now this normally would be over 6 seconds, but we've taken Eradication Ray, meaning it deals that much damage in just 1 second. So, it's quite nice. It's very nice indeed. In addition, we now have Rays. Melee attacks that strike a target affected by discharge grant you a buff known as Rays, which finishes the cooldown on Eradicate, and making your next Eradicate consume no force. So, if we discharge, let me just get this right again. Melee attacks, so... Right. And we can do that every 9 seconds. Okay, handy. So we can basically get 2 eradications off, one of them for free. And we've also then grabbed Hungering Force, which increases the critical hit chance of our damage over time abilities. And every time we are healed, we generate focus. Force, I should say. So we should be getting healing from our Death Field, and I believe we get healing from our Creeping Terror later on. So we're going to get even more healing. We then got Creeping Terror, which we talked about. It's a damage over time ability. We then got Force Dread, increasing all damage over time damage, and increases the life stolen rather than 10%, it's 100% thanks to Death Field. And also causes our Creeping Terror and Lightning Charges discharge that also steal life from enemy targets. So, as I say, this is going to work well with Hungering Force, giving us some more force regeneration as well as healing. We've then taken Fade, which reduces the cooldown of our Emergency Stealth. And then we've got Fulguration. Creeping Tower now deals an additional 10% additional damage. And whenever our Lightning Charge, our melee attack, energy damage proc, it restores more force. We then got Leeching Strike, which deals a fair amount of weapon damage. It actually heals you for the full amount of damage dealt. We then got Lambast, which increases the damage of our Lacerate, meaning even though this is a spinning attack which hits multiple enemies, it uses the same amount of force as our Thrash. But even if we're targeting a single enemy, it actually deals more damage. So technically, we should just throw Thrash out the window. We don't need it anymore, because we could just use Lacerate. May as well. Don't need it anymore. We then have Bloodletting. Our damage over time abilities have a 30% chance to trigger Bloodletting, which finishes the active cooldown on Assassinate and makes your next one usable on targets of any health level. Assassinate is basically a move which you can use to finish off a target. It deals a lot of weapon damage, but it can only be used on targets below 30% health. There you go. How often can we use it? Every 15 seconds. There we go. Very good. Then we've got Force Shroud. This is basically an emergency ability, which purges all hostile removable effects and increases your chance to resist force and tech attacks by 200% for 3 seconds. Basically, if we're in trouble, if we're stunned or we think we're about to take one really powerful hit, we can negate it. We then grab Inevitable Demise. Death Field eradicating all your damage over time abilities, deal 30% more damage to targets near death. And then we got Reaper's Rush. So we have an ability called Phantom Stride, which makes us jump to a target within 30 meters. So when we activate this ability, we get Reaper's Rush, allowing our next Assassinate to be used on any target regardless of their health. In addition, if your target is killed within 10 seconds, we can jump to them again rather than waiting for 30 seconds, or jump to a new target. And then finally we got Languishing Lashes. Dealing melee damage increases the critical chance of your damaging damage over time effects for 10 seconds. In addition, Leeching Strike deals 20% more damage to targets near death, and restores 4 force for each of your active damage over time effects on a target. So basically, from what I'm guessing, we need to get into a target. Do we want to use Eradicate immediately? Maybe. We want to Eradicate, Discharge, Creeping Terror, spread it, maybe Assassinate, get a Death Field going, we get another Eradicate immediately, and see how things go from there. If they're still alive, I would be impressed. I may change up the colour of our lightsaber crystal. That might be the one thing I do. But what we're going to do is get ourselves back over to Carrick Station. I was tempted to go do Directive 7, but I'm nervous because I haven't done that Flashpoint a lot. I'm not very experienced in it. And I'm not very experienced in playing an assassin. So we might just do we might do another Flashpoint. We might revisit an older one. We'll see. But we'll practice the assassin. Yeah, why not? So I'll see you in just a moment once again. And welcome's back once again. Let's get ourselves over to the mission departures sector. See what Flashpoint we feel like doing. I might just redo Hammer Station. Nice and simple. Done it plenty of times. Hammer Station Aphis would be handy, because we can use our Mind Trap ability. See, we did the Red Reaper. I mean, we should probably do Directive 7, but because I've done Directive 7 maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Let's just look at Hammer Station again.
This is Republic Emergency Response Corps Secure Hollow Frequency Polaris. A crisis on the Outer Rim requires immediate intervention. The Adversary Hegemony have obtained a Republic battle station and are using it for acts of aggressive expansion, conquering entire star systems.
How did Advazek obtain our battle station? Did someone leave it unlocked with the keys inside?
During the last war, Republic scientists developed a mobile battle station codenamed Hammer. It bombarded planetary surfaces using asteroids as weapons. Hammer Station was indiscriminately destructive. The project was cancelled and its prototype ordered destroyed. We don't know how the Adversary Hegemony now possesses it.
Maybe our friends figured out how to construct their own Hammer Station?
They lack the resources to build anything of that magnitude. A direct fleet assault would be suicide. Shields are useless against asteroid strikes. The station can target and destroy large vessels easily. But an assault shuttle could evade the asteroids and deliver a commando team to destroy Hammer Station from the inside. We just need volunteers.
And what happens to that commando team when the station blows up? Posthumous medals?
Overloading Hammer Station's primary weapon will take time. The boarding party can flee before its detonation. Destroying the station is your main objective, but we need to know how the Hegemony obtained it. Any data you recover could prove useful. Hammer Station has just entered orbit above Selukami and demanded its surrender. Your assault shuttle is standing by. May the Force be with you.
Okay. Let's get this underway, shall we? Might as well. Do we need to activate an experience booster It used to be before Legacy of the Sith, you would then have, after level 75, you would have, what was it called again? You know what? Wow, I'm drawing a blank. What the hell was it called again? You know, when you don't have it anymore and you haven't played with it for a while? There was another renown. There you go. You had another ranking system where you could get renown ranks and you would get chests, but now they have nothing. At least should have given us something. Maybe we should have got those Decurion chests, or random crafting chests, or credits, or something. But no. Okay, these are useless now. Ah, lovely. Okay. Oh, we got our weekly veteran flashpoints back again. I wonder what tier item rating the elite Decurion armor is. The items are determined by the slot with the lowest item rating of your equipment. Right, I see. So 320 then, I see. Okay, not a problem. Oop, that's not the button I want to press. Flashpoints, toggle them all off, hammer station. So. Bye, T7. Oh. That was fast. It is the weekend after all. Let's get ourselves underway once again. Let's see how the assassin plays. Might as well say hello. Oh, straight fucking hell, we're still in combat. Whoop!
Intruders detected.
Jesus Christ.
Security online. Lockdown in progress.
So we have a Guardian, a Shadow. Oh! A Shadow with 2 Guardians. Bloody hell. Ah, stuck. Sneak, 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 sneak. Are we all ready? Oh, you want to fight them? Okay. We'll fight them then. Fair enough. Fine by me. So eradication has... okay. Oh, because we have scavenging, we'll get the drill working again.
This is Banlord Kashan to all personnel. Our jealous rivals would destroy our great weapon. But today, the Admiral's hegemony earns its place in the galaxy.
Targeting systems locked. Targeting systems locked.
Okay, we're not eating through any of our damage. Any of our force, I should say. Which is excellent.
Marketing systems locked.
Oh, I forgot to talk about my tactical, didn't I? So we did get the Elite Decurion Pommeler's headgear. Did we? No, that was... we got the gloves. Which are item, oh, also item level 320. I see. Oh, okay. Look at all that damage. Holy shit. How much damage did we just deal? Come on. Shortcut again with slicing. Do you have slicing? You do. Handy. How my Eradicate does so many ticks of damage. I know it does initial damage, and then after 1 second it's doing bonus damage.
To the intruders. This station is capable of pulverizing continents. Do you think it will fall to a single strike team? Pure arrogance.
There's the second boss defeated again. It's open section 0. Do we have a bunch of goody two-shoes with us here in this party? Are they going to deal with the Adversec engineers nicely or poorly? Oh, only a disable.
personnel, rally to Section 0. We fight for our homeworld and the Supreme War Master.
Gotta get used to using Phantom Stride a bit more.
Hounds of the Republic, come to steal back your battle station? You won't have it. Your weakness is in your blood.
Ta-da!
Safeties overloaded. Primary weapon inoperable. Recommend immediate evacuation.
Ah. There you go. Be polite. Time to leave. And away we go. So that was a pretty good success, but we had to practice in our own time.
Hammer Station is destroyed, Master Satele.
The people of Salukami and the other conquered worlds send their gratitude. The enemy has retreated to their home system.
Should we pursue the Advaza hegemony's forces, or focus on shoring up the planets they conquered?
The hegemony is no longer a threat. This is a time to heal our losses. Thanks to you, we know how Hammer Station survived destruction. Years ago, its autopilot was set to fly the station into a nearby star. According to the data you recovered, a mechanical failure cut the station's engine just short of its final destination. Adversec salvagers discovered it several months ago.
Didn't anyone from the Republic bother to make sure that the station was destroyed?
The failure occurred beyond our sensor readings. It took years for Hammer Station to drift where the Advosec salvagers could detect it. Regardless, your valiant efforts will be remembered. Take care. And may the Force be with you.
Yeah, regardless, let's just shrug it off. Let's not think about the consequences, Satele. So yeah, it went rather well. Yeah, I forgot to talk about my tactical, because it talks about Sever Force. It has a 100% chance to take an additional time when you deal damage with your spinning strike, and has a 50% chance to take away when you deal just a normal melee attack. Sever Force is actually, I believe, our Creeping Terror. So Creeping Terror has a 100% chance to take an additional time. We haven't got Spinning Strike though. Spinning Strike also means Severing Slash. But any melee attack will allow us to take even more damage over time with Creeping Terror. And since we can use Lacerate, and we also have the chance of the Lightning Strike discharge giving us additional damage, it might actually work out rather well. But yeah, we gained a lot of healing there, and our force regeneration was actually pretty good. I say we're going to have to try it out properly, because we were obviously at a very high level and very well geared So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we're level synced. But what I'm going to do is take a break here. When we come back, we'll get ourselves set up nicely to look into the bonus quest series before looking at the future expansions. As I say, we'll probably switch between the Sentinel and Assassin as we go through the game. Oh, I forgot to talk about... That's the wrong button. Nice job, idiot. Yeah, our lightsaber. I did change the lightsaber color. This is a smoky amber. Since we had to forge ourselves a new lightsaber after the events of defeating the Sith Emperor, this smoky amber crystal, shall we say, was the crystal that resonated the most with us. Of course, we still have our two other lightsabers, but we'll try to make use of the double-bladed lightsaber for events going forward. As I say, we may change up the combat style, but yeah, we'll try the Assassin out and see how things go. Thank you all for joining me once again with even more Star Wars The Old Republic. As always, feel free to leave a comment if you so wish. Let me know what you think, and hopefully I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, though, take care. Bye-bye now.